Hello guys, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. Today's video, what questions to ask sellers. There are 10 questions that I want to go over. I'll go ahead and get into it, but before I do, take advantage of my short course on locating apartment deals, the Flip Man's secret weapon. It is not a coaching, mentoring video where it comes with that, but what it will do is give you a free website that you can tap into nationwide to be able to contact landlords directly. You get it now, have it at a bottom price of only $47 as the date of this particular video is going to go up to $107. That may change, but you need to get it now. There's a clock on it, so you need to take advantage of it. But on with the actual tip. Enough of that. Oh, of course, you can still get the course in coaching, the full course in coaching on wholesaling apartments and houses if you would like. All right, but what to say to sellers? The 10 questions. Number one, I'm gonna go through this quickly because it's very simple. You'll see the questions on the screen that you can make notes on. Of course, you can play this video as much as possible. First thing you want to do, obviously, whenever you're speaking to a seller, whether you answer the phone or you're calling them back, obviously you want to introduce yourself, who you're with, and you go right into it. And the first thing you always want to do is collect the person's name that you're speaking with. You also want to get a phone number for them. In most cases, you may already have it on your caller ID on your phone, but if not, you want to get a phone and possibly a second number just in case. The next thing that you want to do, you want to get the full address, and that will include the zip code. When I say the full address, you don't want to just say 1232 Main. You need to say 1233 Main Street, Main Avenue, Main Drive, whatever it is. That you need the full address, because that could slow the process of you doing your actual due diligence on the property. The next thing that you want to do is you want to gather the beds and bath. You need to know that, the number of bedrooms and bath. Now, what is officially a bedroom, it has to have a closet. You'll speak to some people that say it's 2.5 bedrooms. I know that sounds crazy, but they'll say that. You know, it's either a bedroom or not. If it has a closet, really no matter how small it is, it can be considered as a bedroom. All right. Now, it'll depend on what part of the country whether this will matter or not. But in the South, it is it's a plus if a property already has central heat and air, or if it was set up for it before, because that'll reduce the cost, the repair cost of installing the entire unit, or only just the unit itself, because the duct work has already been done from a previous owner. Now, I'm sure in the North, heat will matter. You know, here it matters also, but the air is probably a little bit more important in most cases, just because it just gets so hot here, and I'm sure in other parts of the country it gets so cold where air doesn't really matter. All right. Question number 5 is you want to know what type of mortgages, taxes, or liens that they may have on the property. A lot of times they'll be guessing, which that's fine. That'll all come out in the title work, but you'll still want to try to get as much of that information as possible from them. The next thing is the age of the roof. A lot of times they won't know, but that's a question that you'll want to ask, and a lot of times you can tell when you go out there if it's fairly new or if it's been there a while. You'll see patches all over the roof, but that's a question that you will definitely want to ask the person that you speak with. Why are you selling? Another important question. Now, that's where you get an opportunity to build some rapport with the individual that you're speaking with, because a lot of times you're not the only person that they're calling. Once you get into those type of questions of why are you selling, that builds rapport. You don't want to be too nosy, but you know, a lot of times they'll just open up to you. If they don't want to answer the question, that's fine. It's not important. But it does allow you to give an opportunity to build some rapport, because, as I said, you're not the only person they're calling, but if they have a good feel about you from just your initial conversation, a lot of times they'll choose you as a potential wholesaler or buyer just because they have a good feeling about the conversation that they had with you. All right, the condition of the property. Wow, this is going to be a vague question, but it's one you need to ask, because that'll be, sometimes they'll give you a true picture of what you're dealing with, and sometimes it'll be better, and sometimes it'll be worse once you get out there and take a look at the property, if it's something that you can do a deal with on the phone. Now, one thing I like to mention is that, and if you're new, you may want to go out and look at it just to get comfortable with dealing with sellers face to face, but generally speaking, I'm not going to go out to a property unless we almost have a price that I can work with over the phone. All right, number 9, are you the owner? That's a very important question, because sometimes you may have a relative calling, a realtor, whoever, calling you, but you do need to establish who that individual that you're speaking with over the phone, so you'll know how to proceed from that point. The next thing is, and which this is the magic question, and the reason I do it this way, because I don't like to make offers. Have a rule of thumb: if I'm forced into making an offer, you always want to offer something that you're embarrassed or ashamed about. If you haven't done that, you haven't offered low enough. You're not expecting them to accept the offer, but you want to follow up, and sometimes they will, but if you want to follow up with a question, is that the best you can do? And the next thing, how close can you come to that amount, I guess is what I meant to say. Once you make your offer, you want your follow-up question should, well, how close can you come to that amount if they reject your offer? But the question that you'll ask always, if you're not forced into making an offer, is paying all cash and closing quickly. What's the least amount you will accept? And you wait on a response. All right. Depending on what they say, no matter what they say, in actuality, you always want to follow up, even if it's a number you can work with. Is that the best you can do? Obviously, if it's a number that you can't work with, you still want to ask that question: is that the best you can do? And you go from there. It's really that simple. These are the basic questions that you'll need to ask to gather enough information to be able to start your due diligence to see if there's a potential property that you can do a deal on or not. When I'm dealing with students, this is the information that I need. Normally, I only need just the asking price and ARV, which the training will allow you to understand how to do that. That's what I need to be able to help them in most cases, and I'll get to the other stuff if need be. But starting out, you need to get comfortable with asking these questions, but you don't want to sound like you're reading from the script. Even if you skip some things, the most important thing is the address, the number, bedrooms, and bath, and the price, and obviously their name and phone, and all the other stuff you can get later. But you don't ever want to feel like you're reading from the script, so you need to familiarize yourself with these questions in order to sound like you know what you're doing, whether you know what you're doing or not. Perception is reality. So this is a tip, a powerful tip. I'm pulling this right from the course. So I'm giving this particular one away, as I've given the whole thing, where really what you're dealing with me, you're paying for my time as a coach and mentor, because I have given over, I've put out over 100 videos on YouTube that anyone can take advantage of. If you haven't, you need to dive into them. It's all free there. But also, don't forget to take advantage of the actual short course that I have on locating apartment deals. Great tool. It's a great tool that you need to take advantage of. This is Ty, aka the Flip Man. Hope this helped. See you on the next video. Thanks.